Okay, everybody, welcome back to In the Pit with Jeff. Um, got a few things set up here that thought I'd show you. Um, when I first moved up to Brantford, I was looking for some aluminum, actually to make the retracts for this Mustang, and that's 30 something years ago. I met a East Indian gentleman named Sushil. He's passed away since then, but he had a machine shop, and I bought a lot of stuff from him. And one of them was one of their homemade punches that they had done for a job. So I used it to sorry about that, make the lenses to go in for the navigation lights in the wing. I mean, not navigation lights, the identification lights. And he always told me, so I just made this out of plastic. But he always told me if I'm doing punching, to have something hard, like a piece of aluminum. So I just take the sheet, I sharpen this up inside a bit with a X-Acto knife, and just sandpaper the outside a little bit to get it a little bit sharper again. And basically just took the hammer, gave it a good bang, and it would punch through and leave it inside there, and you just scooped it out. So I made six of these, 3 for my Mustang, 3 for my dad's Mustang. And then I just took the normal heat gun, have my mold for the nav lights, put it in a vise so it wouldn't move, piece of light plywood with a little rectangle cut in it, and then just clamped on a sheet of plastic, heat it up, and make sure you wear some gloves because it gets pretty hot. Just heat up the plastic, watch it'll start to sag, and just put it down. I used the glove hand and the heat gun, and pushed it down, formed it around, and then hit it to cool it down. So this is basically what I got. It's not really clear because it's got the pattern kind of from the glove into the hot plastic, but we're gonna be using our what do we got here? Oh, that's my smoke and stuff. Sorry about that. So I got my Tamiya. I have the X25 clear green. We're going to be using the X27, the clear red, and I'm just using the yellow for the amber. It's just clear yellow X24 for the amber part of the nav light, and then we can use the green and the red. For the identification lights for the yellow and that, and then we can use the green and red again for the navigation lights. So what I was gonna do was, I paint these the clear parts with the red and the green, one for port, one for starboard, left and right, whatever. But then I have white ones of these also, white plastic of these mold-ins. So it's gonna cut the white plastic and glue it over that, but maybe it'll be easier if I just tint the whole lens, tint the lens, and just paint the other part of it silver or aluminum to match the airplane. But we'll figure that one out as we get there. Just thought I'd give you a quick thing then on that. On mine, I started banking out the vents for my cowl. I just put a bit more spot putty on this, fill in some little voids. I still have to do the bottom seam. This is all gonna get cut out, so I'm gonna go out. I gotta go out into my garage and dig out. I think I have a 3-inch hole saw, and that'll make a nice round hole in there. And we'll also clean up these edges and these seams after. I just wanted to get some primer on it, see how it came along. But I don't know if you guys are in here. So basically we're working on that going in there. Just gonna work on the opening a little bit better. And came down and I started making this blank. Basically just took this 3D printed pattern. It's not exact, but it's better than this. Was my original ones, one of the original ones I had made for my Mustang, and then I just backed it up with the cutout from the cowling. So basically I took, you got to make sure you make a left and a right. So here, that confused me already, because I was like, holy crap, I'm making the same one again. So basically I just put the pattern over here like so, and then I just offset my pencil on an angle just to give me a bit more material around the outside, and then also laid up, just marked, I don't know if you guys can see, marked out roughly the outside of it. And at the same time, I just, the beauty about these pencils is mechanical pencils, you could stick the lid out a bit farther. And then I just made the marks for it. And I basically took the blank, roughly figured out over top, and then took the old worn out punch, and just on the bench just went through, push in and try and find the holes, pushed it all in like that. Okay, then I cut a little bit of the corners off, might have to go a bit more. So let's see, our blank is gonna go like that. I just use this piece of round aluminum stock I have, and I'm just gonna work the corners over. You can work it like a paring knife. It's kind of curling a bit. Just push them over. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm just rolling these edges over a bit. You can just push them over to start. And then I'm just using this to squeeze her down. There's a little bit of, I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of excess there, so we'll just get in there, let the blind guy get in there with his snips and trim those corners off a little bit. Then we can push these, I don't know if you can see, push these, just work these around best we can. Up here, push these over like so. Oh. Puppies running around upstairs. So got a toy. I don't know what time it is, because probably my wife's home care might be walking in here while we're doing stuff. Well, not down here, because I'm hiding in the basement, but come in the house and then you'll hear her. But anyways, we'll just work this edges around. So we got got the edges worked pretty good around there. Here she is. Just coming in here now. So we got that like that. Pop it out. Have a bit of a frame there. And then what I do is I just take my old sander there. I gotta put some new paper on it. Just because it's starting to tear through, but just because we had mitered the corners off, leaves a little bit of I don't know if you can see it, leaves a little bit of a gap in the corner, so we can get in there and round it just a bit. I don't know if it'll show up in the cowling when it's done or not, but something we can work on. I just gotta cut a little bit off here again. I finally got out with Shelly, that's my wife, and we got out to over to, I think we went 3 for 1 kind of deal for glasses, and got myself a new pair of glasses for wearing around, doing stuff around the house and down here. But when I have to do detailed stuff, I have to take them off. And then another pair kind of for like vest, where I can mix them, switch them about, plus sunglasses. I just gotta wait for my sunglasses to come in. So man, it makes a lot of big difference when you're looking through a clear lens than something that has been breaking down. I don't know if it's the lens itself breaking down or the coating that the scratch resistant coating, but I was looking through freaking crapola spots forever. So that was one thing we got taken care of a couple weeks ago. So now I'm taking my little vent we made, kind of bent it again, but I'm just holding it in the palm of my hand and just rolling, just running the aluminum around it, over it, back and forth. I can also back it up with one of the cutouts. These were the cutouts from my dad had just drilled his out for you probably can't see. This is for, well, we'll turn it around for you. So basically this was in my dad's cowl, and he just had drilled out holes in it. So we cut that all out. Make things more complicated. Yeah, and then I can use his and as a template, basically, and just give this a rocky poo. And just gotta bend these edges back down a bit. Oh, shit. Of course, whenever you do things on camera, you get to see some of the fails. I've got a little crumple in there. A little crumple in the corner there. But it gets